Hello, everyone. My name is Belinda Tang. I'm a natural sleep advocate and the owner creative director of Dream Designs. We have been designing and making organic, natural, healthy bedding in Vancouver, Canada since 1981. Um, Today, I'm here to talk to you about how to sleep naturally, how to improve your sleep naturally. And this is a very good week to be talking about this because we have just spring forward by an hour for daylight savings. And this time of the year generally is a challenging time for people to go to sleep. And certainly in my house, for the last few nights, we've all had trouble falling asleep at night and also struggling to get up in the morning. Time change of any sorts is disruptive to sleep. Daylight savings, by changing time to daylight savings, in particular, has been linked to significant increase in heart attacks, strokes, as well as fatal car accidents. Um, so here in BC, British Columbia, our government recently passed legislation uh, stop time change to uh, so we're on daylight savings now, and the change that they have done so far is to follow the uh, state governments in the United States, and they're going with a year-round permanent daylight savings. While I support not changing time because it disrupts sleep, I don't support year round daylight savings because uh, in the summer it's fine when we have lots of daylight. But in the winter months when we don't, daylight savings will reduce our exposures to daylight, except especially the morning daylight, which everyone needs to feel wakeful, energized, and is also very important to our mental health. So scientists who study sleep as well as circadian rhythms unanimously agree that if we are to choose a permanent time, we should go with standard time rather than daylight savings time, which is why I have actually started an online petition to appeal to governments everywhere to abandon um, time change as well as daylight savings to go with permanent year-round standard time. And if you would like more information on that, you can go to our website, dreamdesigns.ca, and on our homepage, there's a moving banner that has a link to our online petition on change.org. Um, so, what does natural sleep look like? A good night of natural sleep. To me, it would mean that at that time you would feel tired and drowsy, and you would go to bed and fall asleep very quickly and stay asleep um, without any interruptions. And in the morning, waking up before the alarm goes off and get out of bed feeling recharged, energized, invigorated, and ready for a new day's challenge. This may sound too good to be true, and certainly to two-thirds of adults in all developed nations who regularly uh, experience undersleep, sleep deprivation. And that's defined as sleeping less than 7 to 9 hours per night. Um, so my sleep hasn't always been good. I do sleep very well, just like I described um, every day. But in my 20s, I used to work in investment banking, and that's an industry that's notorious um, for um, uh, for long hours of work and sleep. Back then was both a it was considered a weakness and an afterthought. Um, so for 2 years, I slept about 5 hours on average every night, and it was a very stressful time of my life. Um, I also experienced sleep disorders as a new mom. I have two kids. They're 8 and 12 now, and they're 4 years apart. For 8 years of my life, I used to have very fragmented sleep. I used to have to get up in the middle of the night to turn to my children's needs. Um, and So I understand what it means to the struggle that people deal with when they wake up at night and suddenly you feel very wakeful and you no longer have the uh, the the feeling that you want to go back to sleep. Um, I also observe sleep from other members of my family, my children, when they were babies, when they were toddlers, and now they're in school, have different needs for sleep. My husband, who is a marine pilot, he drives big ships when they're on the BC coast, and his sleep is really unusual in that he has no set work schedule, so he could be sleeping anytime during the day or at night, and he has to fall asleep so that he gets enough rest for his next assignment. Um, so in my house, we also have seniors, my parents as well as my husband's parents. They stay with us regularly, so I get a chance to peek into how they sleep as well. Um, and So, what is my observation? My observation is that everybody sleeps differently, and depending on your uh, life stage, depending on your activity level, depending on the stress that you deal with, and as well as how you deal with uh, the stress, as well as trauma. Um, and So how we sleep definitely impacts how impacts the quality of our waking life. But at the same time, our waking life, how we live, our activity level, how active we are, um, how what kind of food we have, our diet. Um, these all have a significant impact on how we sleep at night too. So they're very much connected. And More importantly, even though you are currently experiencing sleep disorders, it's entirely possible to improve, no matter how severe it is. You can you have the power to make it better. So now our ancestors, since ancient times, understood the healing power of sleep. There were sleep temples in ancient Egypt, Greece, as well as the Middle East that treated people with all sorts of health issues. Good sleep is crucial to fend off any pathogens like the coronavirus that we're dealing with right now, as well as aiding in the recovery of injuries. And do People who do not sleep well, they suffer from a wide range of ailments. And this is indeed being confirmed by modern medicine as well as scientific research that poor sleep is linked to heart diseases, diabetes, cancer, as well as mental health disorders such as depression, anxiety, and dementia. So our understanding of sleep has significantly advanced since the discovery of REM sleep. What that means is rapid eye movement. It's a part of our sleep um, when our eye, eyes are closed or our eyelids flutter. Um, and what does that mean? So, with the advancements in neuroimaging technology, such as MRI, as well as EEG, that detects brainwaves, um, scientists such as Dr. Matthew Walker, who wrote the book How We Sleep, which I highly recommend, has been studying people's sleep in labs all over the world. And they use brainwaves to measure the level of activity in the nervous system. So ancient humans, they knew about our sleep sort of on an intuitive level, but modern scientists they're using technology to gauge into our sleep, so we understand them on a on a scientific level now. So we now know that when we sleep, when we close our eyes, when we fall asleep, our, even though our body lies still, our brain is actually very active, and it goes in cycles. So it starts uh, after we fall asleep. We go down to the deep valley of very slow wave deep sleep, and then we come up to almost waking up. This is where REM sleep happens, and then we go down. Our brain go activity goes down again, and then up 4 to 6 times um, in a typical night of sleep. 4 to 6 times. So what that tells us is REM sleep is actually when most dreams occur. So that means, and this is also observed, confirmed with observations with people who sleep in these sleep labs, is that everyone sleep 4 to 6 dreams 4 to 6 times every night. This is very significant. And another significant um, fact is REM sleep comprises of 25% of our total sleep. But REM sleep is very short at the beginning of the night. It lengthens and as the night continues, while the deep sleep shortens. So um, what that means is you have your longest, most complex REM dream towards the end of the night when you're just about to wake up. And if at this time you're woken up by alarm clock, you likely are still dreaming and will wake up feeling disoriented. And so when when we when we don't have enough time to sleep, and if you are woken up every day by the alarm clock, that's a sure sign that you haven't had enough sleep. Um, so if you haven't had enough sleep, um, the REM sleep is what you miss out on the most, which is actually the most important part of our sleep. There's non-REM and then there's REM. In the 80s, scientists uh, at University of Chicago conducted an experiment on sleep deprivations in rats. And what they did is they um, prevented these rats from falling asleep, and found that on average, this is, by the way, very unethical and is no longer allowed in the current medical research. Um, so, on average, these rats with total sleep deprivation died within 15 days on average. And then these scientists uh, found that they did a second experiment, and that is to allow these rats to have REM sleep, but not the non REM sleep. And these rats lived much longer, to about 45 days with REM sleep, but not non REM sleep. And then there's a third experiment that the researchers did. And this time they allowed the rats to have non REM sleep, but not the REM sleep. And this time, the rats, they died about the same time as when they had total sleep deprivation. So this experiment alone has proven to me that REM sleep is the most important sleep in terms of supporting our life's needs. And this is if we were to improve our sleep, our REM sleep is the part that we really need to pay attention to. So to improve sleep, people have tried all sorts of methods, and so that includes using sleep medicine, medications, alcohol, and cannabis. Um, but unfortunately, none of these really work. Um, and it's been proven that there is no substance, whether it's legal or illegal, in the current market that's currently available, that can induce natural sleep, which is REM sleep. And you may remember that in 2009, the famous pop singer Michael Jackson died of cardiac arrest. So before he passed away, he suffered from insomnia, and he took a prescription sleep medicine called propofol daily for 60 days. And this sleep aid suppressed his REM sleep and gave him the symptoms of total sleep deprivation. So, because drugs don't work, that leaves us to behavioral change. Behavioral change is how you could improve your sleep, your REM sleep. And So behavioral change, there are two aspects to it. There's the external aspect, and then there's the internal aspect. For the external aspect, um, we are talking about the environment, the sleep environment. And at Dream Designs, we have always promoted natural organic materials in making the bedding, mattress. And that's because organic and natural materials are made from living, living cells rather than fossilized cells. And they are breathable. They allow they allow chi to permeate, whereas synthetic materials don't have that. They will block the life force. The other thing the other aspect that's worth noting is the metal spring mattress. Metal spring mattress has become the norm in the last 100 years for conventional mattress. and that includes spring mattress as well as pocket springs, pocket foils, and um, they are problematic because metal is conductive and can amplify electromagnetic fields, weak electromagnetic fields that's in the environment in your bedroom. They amplify it, and when your body what and your body will react to it as if it's daylight exposure. So it will suppress the melatonin um, production in your body and make you feel wakeful rather than sleepy when you're in bed. And lastly, with regards to the external environment, is um, our body needs to be supported. As I have mentioned, uh, when we were sleeping, our body is actually paralyzed. It's literally like a bag of bones. It needs to be very, very relaxed. And if you're experiencing pain in your body, the common ones are neck and shoulder pains, back pains. Those areas need to be supported because if they're not supported, then they will hold tension. And when they hold tension, they will cause stress to your mind, and it will also prevent you from falling asleep. So at Dream Designs, we have two products that are really great for supporting people's body. And the first is the our buckwheat pillows, which cradles the head. Um, and the other one is our lumberjack mattress support, which provides support to the along the spine, and that will help people eliminate lower back pain in the morning as well. So that is the external aspect. The internal aspect of sleeping well naturally is um, when we sleep, we close our eyes, we shut our senses. So we're no longer taking any information from the outside. Sleep is very much a internal process. So to realize that it's our body is a highly complex electro chemical vessel, and when we experience um, something in our waking lives, those same experiences they exist in our memories, and when we are excited, worried, when we are angry, our mind is busy and disturbed, and it needs time to unwind. We don't have just the we can't just switch it off. We need to give it time. So before you go to bed, give you some time to unwind, to calm down, to feel calm, and to feel to let your body feel itself, so that you can connect with that. The end of the day, I'm feeling tired, and so that your mind can drift away. Um, so to unwind, we have to slow down the brain, um, not by sedating it. So if you take alcohol or sleep aids or cannabis, you're not actually slowing down your brain. What you are doing is you're sedating your brain. They give you the appearance of sleeping, but you're actually just sedated. So how you slow down the brain, in in my view, is you need to slow down its rhythm. So our brain has operates at different frequencies when we're doing different things. So during the day when we're awake, when we're highly when we're focusing on something, and we're trying hard to focus, um, our brain wave is at beta level. This is also a level where we could feel stressed. But when we're awake, we're at a very relaxed pace. Then we're at alpha brain wave. When we're sleeping, in that deep sleep, there's uh, not much happening in our brain, and we're at the delta brainwave, and in REM sleep, we're operating at theta wave. Theta wave is so going from slow to fast, or it's the delta, theta, and alpha, and then beta. So when we're going to sleep, we need to slow our brains down to from beta to alpha to theta, and then to delta, and then we'll be able to fall asleep easily. And to to control our to control our brainwave. Um, to control our brainwave, we need to, in my mind, the breath work is the most effective in terms of controlling the brainwave. Um, a lot of people have tried this when they meditate or do yoga. You would take deep breath in, and long, slow breath out. Deep breath in, long, slow breath out. When you intentionally control your breath, you are in fact intentionally controlling the rhythm of your brain. And when you're taking long, deep, slow breath, you're slowing down your brain wave, um, preparing it for to go to sleep. And when you're taking fast, short breath, you're speeding up your brainwave, and when you can. That's how you can prepare yourself for a situation that deserves more focus and attention. Um, so meditation is excellent for it's an excellent activity to get your prepared right before sleep. And in fact, Dalai Lama has said that sleep is the best meditation. Um, you can also for to relax to unwind, you can also use a bit of essential oil like lavender oils, which will help calm your nerves. Um, and for people who are familiar with yoga, you can practice shavasana, which is the corpse pose that a lot of yoga classes will end with this pose. Shavasana, you would lie still and gradually relax every part of your body, and gradually let go of all the tensions. Um, and just remember, when your whole body is relaxed, you would literally feel like it's you are a bag of bones. And Yogananda has said, every night in sleep, God takes away your troubles to show you that you are not a mortal being, you're a spirit. And in our REM sleep, this is especially true. When we dream, and most people will find dreams to be very bizarre, very difficult to understand. But in fact, when we're dreaming in our REM sleep, our brain stop releasing the anxiety triggering noradrenaline, and and all the memories that we have stored, they come up and they uh, ring, but they will act and interact in and produce a in fact that's sort of like a metaphor, and that's how you should understand dreams. And I published a book just a few months ago about dreams and how to understand your dreams and how to work with your dreams to understand their meanings and how they impact your life, and also to get insights from your dreams to help make decisions in life. And so, lastly, I would like to just say that sleep is such a mental process, and when you have lots of mental clutters, it helps to declutter. And a very effective way to do that is to keep a journal on your nightstand. And when you can't fall asleep, when your mind is very busy, stressing about various little things in life and overthinking, and also repeatedly thinking about the same things over and over, it helps when you just write those down as if this is a to-do list for your waking life. You empty the thoughts into this journal. Um, Now, in the morning, if you wake up with dreams that you can remember, write your dreams down in that journal too. And over time, what you'll find is there's going to be consistencies, there's going to be patterns, and it'll help you understand your what your anxieties, your feelings, as well as there could be traumas that you don't consciously aware. But dreams will help you connect with those insights too. So they're very very valuable psychological insights, and um, and then that's about all the tips that I have for a healthy night of sleep. And before I go, I just want to say a couple words about coronavirus. Um, uh, I am I was born in Wuhan, and I actually still have families living in Wuhan. They have been staying home for over 2 months, and uh, I have been experiencing this outbreak from two different worlds, and I just want to say that coronavirus is treatable, and it's not an apocalypse. It does take time. It will probably take 3 months to run its course, and there's not much we can do about it other than to stay calm and maybe take the opportunities to catch up on sleep. It is very good for your health. Thank you. Okay. Hi, Brian. Brian, Michael. Michael. Hi, Michael. Hi. How are you? So I am maybe gonna pause this first.